Yes, y'all, you notice, you know this. I am still giving thanks and praises each and every night and day, yes, even in this sprayed cold day, to be in cool water paradise, even when I've been under several attacks lately. Today, I've got a video for you called Harmlessness is Essential in Individuation and or versus war forcing evolution. Well, individuation is a term from psychology, meaning forming your Jungian psychology, forming your own self. People everywhere, so easy to see. People everywhere just wanna be free. You would know how a lovely, lovely world would row if y'all could learn to know how to be free and love each other. Hang now, prepare yourself for the rubber band man. Hang now, watch the video and learn how the rubber band man starts the jam. Freedom, freedom, freedom. You don't belong to me, and I don't belong to you. Freedom. Yeah. Harmlessness is essential. In individuation and war forcing evolution. If we are made in the hologramic image of the sacred divine mother, then what is missing in many folks' understanding of personal evolution and ascension? Well, they don't emphasize personal harmlessness and are fully or mostly unwilling to do the intensive shadow work or even some of it to face themselves. They'll say they don't have time, I gotta pay the bills. So the internal harm can be hidden in many regions of the mind and abruptly come up in a conversation. For example, I finally visited the Santa Cruz Brave and Free party, and big it up to you guys. And a few people there were getting annoyed that I was making spontaneous comments. And is my tendency to make spontaneous comments good or bad to the group, to the CIA people there? They were totally offended. To the controllers, maybe were getting annoyed, or the intelligent ones were tolerant. Groupthink is mind flunk. If you can say namaste or in Lakesh, yet you do not realize the golden rule of the Bible is actually reality. Like the things that I do to you, I'm doing back to me. Okay, it's the same in reality. If you don't realize this, you are blocked from the real respectful future. Because how can you have it if you really believe that you are something different than me? You're blocked to the real respectful future version of yourself unless you heal that. And of course, like I say, most people don't have the courage or the time. For if the body is the subconscious mind, as some healers say, which is probably true and why I've suffered so, and the mouth speaks, they say the mouth speaks the contents of the heart. Okay? That means that if I'm making harmful words, or your harmful words, and your body's harmful habits might just still be spewing your psychic wounds and garbage on everyone. So practicing what I preach, is something I have to, not just being a part-time teacher and musician, a part-time healer, but not holding the cross of the man stuck on the cross, but transcending it consistently is an issue I have. Can at stressful moments, practicing what I preach, can at stressful moments be very difficult, But accident, illness, and death might be unavoidable. They might just be unavoidable if I let the evil back in, if I don't block it out. Okay? If I let the evil back in, if I let evil spirits act on me, they can cause bodily harm. Now, I have to fully learn how to practice what I preach, exercise, stay pure enough to repel and shield at all times. And it's a lot easier to teach that than do it. Notice how you feel. Notice how you feel held back in Earth spiritual school when you abuse or interfere with others' progress. This is why it's good to learn about narcissistic personality disorder and codependency and to try to heal that. Because when you interfere with other people's spiritual progress, it's a great detriment to all. Knowing the Syrian Anunnaki unplugged through their experiments about 96% of our divine human multidimensional DNA heritage, okay, then set us up to be slaves, mining gold, and later slaves for our boxes, as most people are now, that's still conditioned to believe that this is acceptable to their spirit. Humanity has been under assault by beings who want us to be perverts or narcissists and run their mental and physical prisons, psychological. They want us to be the wardens, not just Jewish people, everyone. They want us all to be wardens and inmates of their prisons and keep our souls stuck for millions of years in this matrix memory wipe trap. And also, not just the Anunnaki, but even worse yet, the Dracos and other evil ET races beyond them just want to use us as food. We've all said it many times that teach the truth of the disclosure movement. Even after they lasered Lahaina, killing thousands, disappearing thousands of children, people still don't notice the war on your mind. They still can't see it even after they burned down 2 towns in California in the last 5 years before that. And now they lasered the whole town to build a smart city. People still can't notice the war. Heavy Pollyannas with a serious, massive Stockholm Syndrome and cognitive dissonance. Did they have to wait until 2023 after over half the world took the nanotech shots to overtly burn down Lahaina and make it a 15-minute smart city all in your face? Right there it is. The longer you spend all of your life on rent, mortgages, or property taxes, or simply victimization or fake ID such as being disabled or hating towards someone else, fake identity politics, worry, fear, depression, or freaking out in any regard, the more loose or negative energy, as I've said many times, the dark side, the part of them that doesn't actually drink children's blood or eat people, the interdimensional part, the interdimensional forms of the dark side, always, these vampire parasites feed off all these negative emotions. They love the feelings I've gotten about Lahaina when they were afraid, fearful, okay? This is their food, okay? So, human souls, you have to think of your soul similar to the pearl, okay, right? To create the pearl, there has to be an impurity before the pearl can form, okay? Now think about this. What would happen to the pearl if inside the shell, while it's growing, it was assaulted with chemical warfare and energy weapons and lasers and microwaves enough so that there's no way it could grow? Well, it's not natural, okay? You need the impurity, you need the sin, you need to make a mistake to grow. However, if you live your life in sin or mistake, if you live your life making mistakes all the time, if you live your life as an AI slave, your soul is gone. You're not really going to be able to flower anymore. War is forced, especially this AI takeover of humanity. War is a forced evolution. Okay, Andrew Bartzis said that. War forces you, but it's a de-evolution. Really, it forces you to be lower in awareness. It forces you down, or it forces you to be stuck in trauma often. Have you ever met an enlightened soldier? There's been some. I won't lie. But it's rare, because after killing other ensouled humans for the 1%'s greed, or their Syrian masters, or Draco, they're forced rapidly to evolve to see what's happening on this planet, which is why the secret soldiers have been some of the people working in the disclosure movement when they've gained the courage, but in a certain direction. They've been forced to evolve in a certain direction through trauma bonding, basically through forced trauma bonding to the false reality, the archons, the demiurge, Luciferians, the Syrian Anunnaki and the Draco are trying to force us into being their slaves to the reality of hell on earth. Okay? Dog eat dog, Syrian, survival of only the fittest, everyone else, or the weakest get to be killed, as we saw in Lahaina. Syrian prison planet, or what they want it to turn into, is called Serpentina. Similar to longer jail time, you are forced to sink or swim. If you're actually the World War III basically is what we're in now. You're forced to sink or swim around these sharks. Okay, in a sea world, a mafia, Khazarian mafia, interdimensional parasite, and other dimensional demon ET run, basically SeaWorld, underworld, caged hell. As long as you're inside of it, as long as you're inside of that system. All of this is a trapped earth that was originally designed as a free world and a divine living library for souls to become one, while they separate into physical flesh suits, and yet more expanded in their awareness and heal their schisms, learn how to make more beautiful music and more inventions that are harmless, such as a bicycle, and become a more expanded version of the living, ever-growing Creator. This is the purpose of this earth before these parasite predator ETs came around. The Syrians and the Dracos and all the dark sides, the dark ET races, for the most part, unless they're hybrids, they can't understand or overstand the human heart. As I've said before, it puts forth 1,000 times the electromagnetic frequencies of our brain, which is just a receiver, which they have tuned, unless you know how to meditate, unless you know how to tune it out, unless you know how to tune to other channels. Radio station 666, so that you stay in this fighting mode. You want to verbally abuse and fight strangers, fight your acquaintances over nothing. This is how they feed, as I said. So they can't understand the human heart, because when an ensouled human, a spirit ensouled in a human body is awake, it operates again at 1,000% the electromagnetic frequency, and it's a way higher vibration in the 5th dimension. Okay, they can operate up into the 11th dimension, but only to, say, distract you or to make you think obsessed with something. Know the dark side's obvious tendencies to invert the divinity, such as what happened with Yeshua, or Jesus the Christ, what they turned that into. Would you prefer to try to evolve in hell on earth, as we've seen it turning into with these beings in charge, or in peace? Okay? If you have the courage and the discernment, it's your choice. My personal choice is places like this. I work best in peace. My creativity is curtailed or lessened or taken advantage of, manipulated to have anger in it, or to not even, if I don't stay clear-headed enough and succumb to that radio station, I could become worried like a normal person and not be creative, become back stuck in survival mode, okay, survival beast mode. So for me, if I'm in a meditational or an Irie headspace, I can do my best work in peace. I become I think of ideas for videos and songs. If you enjoyed this, make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the bell, like, follow me on Odyssey, and let's make this a better world. I got a little more here. Love you.